Hey, what's happening, folks? This is Baron Graff from the Sports Underground here with my man Gar, the batting stance guy. We're coming up on the All-Star game, so what better to do than to do the Sports Underground all-time All-Stars as done by the batting stance guy. So here we go. Starting at catcher, Mickey Tettleton.
All right, Mickey Tettleton, first player ever to put together unbuttoned shirt, huge chaw, bench press 400 pounds, stand straight up, steely glare, and then a bat leveled off at Jason Kipnis level. No player had ever done all those together. And then he looks real mean, huge chaw, and then finishes the swing like this. Nobody else had done it before, and I don't know if he's single or has 15 women. I mean, he's the closest thing that we have to what's his name? Chuck Norris.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the closest thing to most interesting man in the world or Chuck Norris.
Right. At first base, Andres Galarraga, the big cat.
Galarraga went the opposite of most people. Most people, like Carl Yastrzemski, start up here, then they end real low and bending over. Galarraga on the Expos actually started out way down low, and by the end he worked his way up to where with the Braves and then before that with the Rockies, he would stand completely facing the pitcher like this, and then when the ball would go in the air, he would kind of Chan-Ho Park versus Tim Belcher like circle kick, and then
Now, true or false? He was blind in one eye, and he had to open it up because he was blind in one eye. True or false?
I'm learning that today, that he was blind in one eye. I'm saying that if he was, that's a great story. You do know he was blind in one eye?
I don't. I've heard that.
He could have been blind in two eyes with some of the pitches that he swung at.
Okay, so at second base, one of my all-time favorites, NL Central guy, Craig Biggio.
All right, nobody ever accused him of taking anything to make him muscular, but he couldn't move by the end of his career because of his muscles. He had muscles growing out of strange places, and so even when he got thrown out on that 3,000th hit, trying to stretch it into a double, he basically would swing like this and just couldn't move. Wasn't real flexible right around this area.
Locked up. At shortstop, one of the all-time greats.
All time.
Nomar Garciaparra.
All right. So Nomar comes into the box, gives the catcher a little, "What's up? How you doing?" Then he adjusts here, then steps back out of the box, and then just goes to town right there. Works out his OCD in front of everyone for all to see. Works it. Then, a really underrated part is what happens after he does all this. He goes down, he taps it, he taps the top of the bat, taps his shoulder, taps his head, taps his shoulder, taps his head, and then he starts going to town down here on the feet. And he kind of kicks like this, often overlooked in the imitation. Then after he finishes, very few players then, Pujols is one of them, launches the bat one-handed back toward this dugout. Nomar did that.
The dismount.
Huge
with Garciaparra.
Huge.
At third base, now you say this is the all-time great of your generation, of your lifetime, the best stance, Kevin Youkilis. Give us Uke.
All right, so Uke, it's real easy to do if you want to do it at home. First of all, you have to have the tip of the bat facing the pitcher like Julio Franco, all right? So you get it all the way right here. Then you got to separate your hands. You got to put your knees together. You got to bounce around. Then you got to put a garden hose up the back of your shirt onto your hat and then have it drip down sweat over the bill of your cap like water. And then you staple a ferret to your chin. So it's like this. And that's Uke. And no one will ever top it. He's a McMansion of stance.
That's the all-time one right there.
He's the Mount Kilimanjaro.
So I'm going to try. I know nobody's going to rival that, but I'm going to give you a few outfielders now. We're moving into the outfield.
Right,
And these are some guys, right? These are like, I remember growing up as a kid, Darryl Strawberry. Give me Straw.
Straw was fantastic to meet. We did an event in St. Louis where the Billikens play. And I asked, he said, "Gar, hey, I want to see me. Let me see me." And I said, "Okay, well, do you want you on the Mets or you on the Yankees late in your career when you used to tug up your sleeve?" And basically, he made a fist. He kind of got up and he said, "Man, nobody gets that. That's awesome." And he gives me a bro hug because he didn't think that people would remember. So on the Mets, he was just kind of skinny and just sort of did this. And then on the Yankees, he would tug up his sleeve a la Gary Carter. like this, and then he would, from the side view, it was like this. That was where his baseball card would be. This weird shot where he would kind of like coil, and then he would finish the swing like this.
Like he hadn't even hit anything.
No.
Like what happened?
No.
Did anybody see that one? Like he was playing golf. He's that guy in golf. Like where'd it go?
Yeah,
you're right
he was
down the
best.
center, pal.
His baseball cards were the best because they look so cool, like this.
I still remember my 1987 Topps Darryl Strawberry baseball card. You're exactly right. He was all the way up, locked in. Yeah.
Cover, Sportsilly, baseball cards, the whole thing.
So another guy like that had the dramatic leg kick, Gary Sheffield, the chef.
Oh yeah, yeah. So his whole thing was that he wouldn't blink, thus making it look like he wouldn't get the joke if you told it to him. So he was kind of bored like Bonds, but then pissed like Albert Bell. So that was kind of his whole vibe, and he would spit, and then he would make his bat look like you're carrying a plastic bat. I mean, he would just go violently like this, and he actually played better the angrier he was throughout his career. You can look at when bad things happened to him, he hit great, and when he had lots of money and liked his life, he hit 240. And then he would go like, yeah, you're right, like Strawberry, he would go.
And the little jump was always what got me with Chef. The little hop out of the box. I love that.
Yeah, his stop action was great because he would be so coiled around like this.
Yeah.
Like, how do you stop? How do you check a swing? You're so emotionally committed at this point.
Exactly. And then, I mean, this is probably one of the sweetest swings in all of baseball history, if we're telling the truth.
You and JV.
Me, well, let's
You
be
and
honest.
JV baseball.
Never played JV baseball.
Your junior year.
No, I did not make it that far. Thank you, very flattering, but no. Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, okay.
That's a beautiful stroke.
For sure, yeah. I think if you have kids at home, if you have a 4-year-old and she's trying to play princess, that's kind of the shoulder shimmy that Griffey's doing. So he's standing straight up and he's just kind of shimmying his shoulders like this, back and forth. And he's so straight up that you could put like textbook on the shelf right here. That's his backside, so it's scaled a little differently than mine. And then when the pitch comes, you swing and let go of the bat in one motion.
The dismount.
And then you just walk.
And then you just walk, because you know
So
that's
like,
gone.
Yeah, it's like you could have like a top hat and a cane, like a jacket, and be in like.
And that's the stop.
British Army.
That's the stop action with Griffey, right? Is the bat like all the way on the ground, right? Like, oh, I just hit that one a long way.
It's the best.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's the best.
This has been great. This is Gar, batting stance guy.
Boom.
Sports Underground. That's your all-star team. Dude, that was awesome. Thank you so much.